Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to finally talk about the state of our Washington Wizards. Now, I've been gone from the personal YouTube channel. I've been on Locked On Wizards where I do my podcast. Make sure you check over there. When I'm not doing the video reviewing the game over here, I'm always doing it over there for every game. And it's been so bad that I can only do one review. I can't do it for them, for Locked On, and for my personal YouTube when they are putting on the product that they have been showing us. Guys, it's been bad, man. It's been bad. If you look at, their last 6 games, they've lost 5 out of those 6. They could easily be on a 6-game losing streak. And the only reason they're not is because the Pistons were the Pistons. And even though the Wizards almost lost that game, the Pistons came back. I say that, but the Pistons did come back. The Wizards ended up pulling it out because of Kyle Kuzma game winning 3. But guys, the team it looks terrible. It looks terrible. Let me go in order here. Firstly, let's talk about the offense. It's been consistently bad. That's been the only consistent thing on the Washington Wizards this year, is the offense being mid. The offense is terrible. Spencer Dinwiddie has regressed to borderline being just irrelevant on the court. I don't even know what he's out there doing. The fans are calling for him to be a 6-man at this point, and I don't blame him. Bradley Beal still struggling, shooting some of the lowest percentages of his NBA career. I mean, a lot of it has to do possibly with just the lack of point guard play, and he has to take on more of a facilitating role as well. But another part of it is he just has to play better, and he hasn't. You can say COVID and all this other stuff. If the guy wants to be a max player, he has to play like a max player, period. And he has not been doing that. So, offensively, the Wizards' backcourt being terrible is a big reason why the offense is terrible. And then let's get into the roles. A lot of the guys just playing roles that they should not be playing. Bradley Beal trying to be a facilitator. Spencer Dinwiddie pretending to try to be a facilitator because he can't find the balance of trying to facilitate and then trying to be aggressive and score. There's no balance there. He's either trying to find guys, driving to the basket, and dumping it off. I mean, he doesn't have balance. And that's because he's not a natural point guard. So he doesn't know what that balance is at this point. This is what I'm figuring out at this point. We're almost 30 games in. So, the backcourt being bad. Guys not being in their typical roles. KCP is a 3-and-D guy. He's at the 3. He's an undersized 3. But he's playing the 3. He's doing way more than catching and shooting. He's doing a lot of dribbling, a lot of pull-up shots, etc. Kyle Kuzma is more of a playmaking role as well. And I don't really think that fits his game. But on this Wizards team, that's what his role is. It's just a lot of guys in roles on this offense that are in roles that they don't need to be in. Period. And that hurts the offense. Now, defensively, oh my goodness, the regression has been terrible. And this was a worry of mine. The Wizards' offense was bad. But we always said the defense is elite. So as long as they keep the games low scoring, as long as they have a top 5, top 10 defense, they'll be all right. But no, the defense has regressed and the offense has been completely the same, which is bad. And you know what that's a recipe for? Losing basketball. You got a bad regressing defense with a bad offense. You put those two together, you getting below 500 real quick. And that's the arrow and trajectory that the Wizards are currently on. It's terrible. It really is terrible. The way this defense has regressed. And you can point to, easy penetration for opponent guards, the opposition. Not helping out the bigs. You can count it towards Daniel Gafford picking up early fouls, leaving Montrezl Harrell in the game. And Montrezl Harrell is an undersized big, so the paint defense drops dramatically. when Daniel Gafford exits the game and Montrezl Harrell has to come in. Daniel Gafford is the last line of defense, and he's bailed the Wizards out a plethora of times. But sadly, he can't put up 8 block games every time he's on the court. Simple. He can't do it. And I don't know what the fix is. There's no easy fix. Bradley Beal keeps saying that it's an easy fix, or it's a simple fix. It's not. It doesn't look like a simple fix. I mean, if it was that simple, Bradley Beal would be hooping like he previously did. Spencer Dinwiddie would not look like a shell of his former self. And that's my thing. People are saying that Spencer Dinwiddie is the offense and new system, coming back from injury, etc. All these different type of reasons, which, can be logical, is logical. I can understand that. But it's not him just looking like it's a lack of chemistry out there. He looks like a shell of the former player that he was. A shell. I mean, the lack of aggression, the lack of attacking, is like the paint is lava down there. And it's been consistently milk carton for Spencer Dinwiddie. He's consistently been on the have you seen this person milk carton. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, the team is just the body language. Terrible. They're just out there flowing. Just going through the motions of the game. It is terrible. No energy. Something's got to change, man. Wes Unseld Jr. has to change something, and the starting lineup is the first thing that has to change. It's not working. I always said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's broken. It's really broken, and it's getting more broken with every game that passes, period. They need to change it. They really do. The Wizards, I mean, just talk about a regression on all levels. Paint defense regress. Free throw shooting regress. Some three-point defense at times has regressed. I mean, it's crazy. It really is, man. And I don't know what the fix is. There's no easy fix. There is no easy fix. I always said maybe Wes Unseld Jr. needs to simplify the offense. Wes Unseld Jr. said he already dumbed down the offense. And it still looks the same, which is trash. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And that's just my talk on the Wizards and the state of the Wizards currently and their just downfall and free fall from where they were in the beginning of the season. And I don't know if they'll ever get back to that, because it's looking like this current Wizards team is the real Wizards team, and the team we seen earlier in the season was due to their elite defense, which we don't know if they can get back to. Better play from Spencer Dinwiddie and extremely high play from Montrezl Harrell, who's come back down to earth as well. But to get into Bradley Beal, who's a hot topic in Wizards Twitter, in Wizards land, Wizards Reddit, etc. Do I think the Wizards should be shopping Bradley Beal, etc.? After his recent play this whole season, not even recent, this whole season, how can you not say, maybe you pick up the phone, see what other teams are offering, etc.? How can you not say it? We're talking about a guy who's looking to earn a lot of money coming up. And this is a what have you done for me lately league. Nobody cares about the previous 30-point per game years when you were on 10th, 11th seed teams. Nobody cares about 30-point per game seasons with a roster that people felt like wasn't an adequate roster. Now this is his year that fans feel like the Wizards have a legit roster. They have a decent roster. And Bradley Beal's been laying an egg all season. And then you have comments like in the Chris Haynes interview with Bradley Beal saying, he wants to be selfish this time and he don't want to make that ultimate decision and it don't work out, etc. But yet, the guy's playing terrible. And every post-game comment is, I got to get better, or I'm playing like garbage, or we got to stop turning the ball over, especially me. And then the next game, late game in the clutch, you turn the ball over. Or you don't get better. Fans are tired of hearing it, man. It's as simple as that. They're tired of hearing it. They feel like the Wizards have done everything to accommodate Bradley Beal. And Bradley Beal is not currently returning that favor with his play. right now. Can he turn it around? I believe he can. There's no way you go from scoring 30 points per game to just having one of the worst shooting. One of the worst shooting performances of your career during this current season. I think he could get it together. But one thing I think we all know is Bradley Beal is not a number one option on a championship team. I think we all know that. We been knew that. If the Wizards really want to do something, they got to make a move, man. They got to bring in a guy that's better than Bradley Beal. Not a guy who's equivalent to Bradley Beal or right around that range of Bradley Beal. They need to bring in a guy who we can look at and say, oh yeah, that guy's better than Bradley Beal. One of those guys is Karl-Anthony Towns, who looks like he's upset with Minnesota. You could say Sabonis, but I don't really think Sabonis is above Bradley Beal. I don't. You may think differently, but I don't. I'm looking at Karl-Anthony Towns. If they really want to do something here, they got to make a play. It would be nice to get an elite front court guy. When's the last time the Wizards had an elite front court guy? It's always been backcourt. Heavy backcourt. Star backcourt. Let's get a guy down low in the front court. Maybe that takes a lot of pressure off Bradley Beal. Let's see how that works. The Wizards got to do something. They got to make a move, or you take the risk of ending up like the Indiana Pacers. That's a decent team, and the Wizards aren't even on that level of the past Indiana Pacers team because they were better than the Wizards. But I say that as far as the Indiana Pacers, who were a good team. You knew the Pacers were good. You're like, oh, that's a good team. But you knew they weren't doing nothing. You knew come playoff time, they weren't winning nothing. They weren't going nowhere. They weren't going to the conference finals. You knew that. And that's the risk the Wizards run with just running it out with Bradley Beal, trying to build around him, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And staying average. Not pushing all your chips into the pile, into the middle of the table. You run the risk of being mediocre and average until you end up rebuilding. Period. That's the risk you run if the Wizards don't take a big risk and get a name that's better than Bradley Beal. Simple as that. As simple as that. I mean, because I will say this last thing, and I tweeted this too. A lot of the fans don't feel like Bradley Beal is that guy. And I don't blame them. I mean, in the clutch, it's been consistent with the turnovers, etc. Fans are tired of seeing it. I bring up John Wall because I feel like Bradley Beal has not surpassed John Wall in the fan base or on the court for the Washington Wizards. And you can easily say, well, John Wall hasn't done anything, blah, blah, blah. And I won't disagree with you. John Wall never got to a conference final, even though they got to a Game 7. And that's the closest they've been since. And that's the best they've been since. But John Wall, you felt like he was the guy. You felt like at times when he was hitting his mid-range, he was unstoppable on the court. He just took over games. Fans haven't felt like that with Bradley Beal. And like I said, I know John Wall ain't perfect. I know the Wizards' success ain't crazy with John Wall. And I'm not saying that to say it as if John Wall carried the Wizards to all this and all that. I'm going to give John Wall a lot of credit. When the situation John Wall walked into after the gun stuff with Gilbert and playing with Andre and JaVale and Nick Young and bringing this franchise out of irrelevancy and out of that darkness, you know, John Wall did a lot for the franchise that I feel like Bradley Beal has just not done since he's been the guy. He's been the guy for some seasons now. And the Wizards fans feel like he's not that guy. So, I don't know, man. Wizards got to get it together. Bill got to get it together. Get it together. Tommy Shepard has to figure out what he wants to do. Make a move. Push your chips in. Get a guy that's better than Brad. Or continue being mediocre. Pray bad signs. Be average. Eventually rebuild. I mean, who knows? Same thing happened with the John Wall, Bradley Beal era when John Wall's peak. Wizards were good. They didn't push the chips into the middle of the table. They ended up being average. Rebuild. You run the risk of doing the same thing if you don't push the chips in. What are we doing here? You think you better than the Bucks? You think you better than the Nets? Think you better than the Sixers or the Heat come playoff time? No. No. So, I don't know what we're doing here, man. But that's all I got. I know this is a little longer video. It was a couple things I wanted to cover. It's been a little while since I uploaded last time. But thank you guys as always. Let me know how you feel in the comment section, man, about anything I said, or if you have any added on thoughts or any disagreements with what I said. Let me know in the comment section. As always, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.